Well, hello, it's Miss Gina, and I thought that we could repeat dropping my camera again today. So I just knocked over my expo marker that was holding my camera up a little, but you can see the water. It's really trying to get the water back there, but the whole bench is wobbly. I apologize in advance. I always do. I can't tell. Okay, I think the water's behind me. All right, cool. So, I thought we would do story time outside today. Top of the Pizzas. This is a book that I used to read to my children a long time ago. The Top of the Pizzas by Bill Basso, B-A-S-S-O. And it's a really cute story. And so, we're going to read that. It's got really neat pictures. He's making pizza. And so, the story is Top of the Pizzas with Miss Gina. I'm here at a play park. And you're at Gina's Planet. Hello, I'm Miss Gina. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you come for story time. Need something about that tall, but I don't have it, so I'm gonna sit that down. So, anyway, we're gonna sit that just offside there so you can see the water. So, I apologize in advance because the sun is bright and I've chosen to sit right here in it so that you can see the water behind me. I hope you can some of the time see the water behind me. The children have a good time. So, not too long ago, in a place not too far away, there lived a good person who was as ugly as an ogre. And for that, he was called Ogre. Ogre loved to make delicious pizza pies, and for that, he was called Ogre Pizzaola. Yum, I love pizza. Ogre worked at Leonardo's Pizzeria. Leonardo was the waiter and Ogre was Ogre the chef. Leonardo knew Ogre to be a harmless and gentle soul, but because, there goes the airplane, you hear it? And because Ogre was so ugly, Leonardo kept him a secret. Poor Ogre had to make his pizzas in the rear of the kitchen where none of the customers were allowed. Leonardo thought if people knew about Ogre, they wouldn't buy his pizzas or allow their children in the pizzeria. When customers asked Leonardo who is making these delicious pizzas, he would lie or change the subject. Leonardo kept his secret well. And there's the picture. There he is. Can you see the ogre? He's hid behind a pot. You can't see his whole face. But he makes good pizza. Oh goodness, the home of Leonardo's Pizza. Get that, it's a happening place. All the cars and all the people. It's popular. Ogre made his pizzas just right. Lots of molten mozzarella, anchovies, mushrooms, peppers, sausage, and gobs of rich tomato sauce. Leonardo's Pizzeria was the most popular place in town. How do you like your pizza? I like mine to be a veggie lovers without onion, like extra feta. Yum. But I don't know about anchovies. Anchovies are fish. I don't know if I want fish on my pizza. It's kind of strange to me, but I do like molten mozzarella. That's a cheese. It's good. It's in the dairy group, in the food group. Says that Leonardo's Pizzeria was the most popular place in town. Pizza lovers would travel for miles just for a slice. After school, crowds of happy children filled the pizzeria. Ogre especially loved the children, but he was sad he could not talk to them and tell them funny stories. Leonardo wouldn't allow it. And there's the pizzeria place and all those people. They're doing a lot of business. A lot of business. One fateful day, Mrs. Worthington Flaunt, the well-known hostess, insisted on meeting the chef, who made the most delightful pizza she had ever tasted. I must invite the pizza gourmet to my daughter's birthday sleepover, she announced. Before Leonardo could stop her, Mrs. Flaunt was in the kitchen. Oh no. It's cucina in Italian. It's kitchen. My Uncle Tony says it rhymes with Gina. Miss Gina. So there you go. There's your little info. And there she is. Uh-oh. I don't think this is going to end well. What do you think's going to happen? Oh, no. Look. He scared her. She passed out, it looks like. He threw the pizza in the air. Do you see what happened? There goes the pizza. Oh, no. No. That didn't go well, did it? Oh, dear. That doesn't look like it's going to end well. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen next? Maybe. Maybe he's not going to have a job. Maybe. You might be onto something. Mrs. Flaunt came out screaming. There's an ogre in the kitchen. Leonardo's secret was no more. Parents panicked. They clutched their children and whisked them away, as though they were escaping with their lives. After that, no one came to the pizzeria again. Leonardo told Ogre he had to leave. Oh no, they ruined his restaurant. Do you see it? It's in shambles. That means it's all messed up. Oh, that's so sad. And Ogre did lose his job. You were right. You were correct on that one. You called it. Good job. Good job predicting what was going to happen. Do you think that lady that passed out is going to be okay? I think maybe so. And so Ogre left town in search of a new job. He was very depressed. He had lost the only job he ever loved. Ogre went from pizzeria to pizzeria, but no one would hire him. He tried to explain his name. I'm not really an ogre, he pleaded. I never ate any child or pet, but no one would listen. Instead, they locked up their children and pets and hid in their homes. Ogre thought of changing his name, but that didn't matter. He still looked like an ogre. He's still looking like an ogre. That's not good. I don't know how bad this reflection is impairing you. It's reflective. I hope you can see the pictures. They're really nice. He's crying. It made him sad. I don't like to be sad. Can you think of some time that you were ever sad? Oh. Okay. You had a fight with your best friend? I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes we're sad. It happens. I'm sorry you felt that way. Ogre was alone and hungry. He thought of what it was like to be a real ogre. He might as well be one. Everyone believed he ate children and pets, but Ogre Pizzaola was a good person. He couldn't do that. If he could only get a job, any job. He just wants a job. They're eating ice cream. Yum. 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 I don't know if you can still see it, but there was a kayak in the water today. So we'll see if we can find some of those pretty things later and take some photos. One day in big city, Ogre saw a sign on an old skyscraper. It read, "Wanted, one harmless, terrible-looking person for hire. Inquire with superintendent." Ogre couldn't believe his eyes. At last, a chance for a job. The super told Ogre he needed time to take the place of a broken gargoyle. What? A gargoyle? Ogre asked. A statue of a terrible-looking demon. Oh, no. Answered the super. A long time ago, people used to put them on the roofs of buildings to scare away real demons. Nobody believes that anymore. These days, they just don't make gargoyles. Instead, I think you'll do nicely. The kindly super told Ogre he wanted tourists to see his roof. I want every detail in perfect order, he explained. This building is the only one with gargoyles left in the city. Come with me. I'll show you what I mean. See, he's got keys. The little boy does. And that's the superintendent of the building that needs a gargoyle. A gargoyle's like a statue. These are gargoyles. These. Oh, they got a broken one. Oh, dear. Dear, dear, dear. So, Ogre followed the super up 3,000 steps to the top of his building. The roof looked like a museum, and the view was the best in the city. The super thought many sightseers would pay to see such a place. So he's going to fill in for that gargoyle that's broken. Ogre took the job, and he promised he would do his best. It wasn't much of a job pretending to be a stone gargoyle. Poor Ogre sat on the ledge in all kinds of weather. He wondered if he would ever be a pizza chef again. The super waited weeks for tourists to arrive. Only one exhausted family came. They complained about being too hungry and thirsty for sightseeing and left. And it's only $1.50 admission. It's all it costs to get in to see. Look at Ogre Pizza Ola sitting there. He's so nice and green. But they're too tired and hungry. They don't want to see it. They don't want to pay their $1.50. The super was upset. He didn't have any food or drink to sell. The super knew nothing about the food business. But Ogre Pizza Ola did. Ogre asked the super if he could make pizzas for the tourists. A pizzeria on the roof, thought the super. I love it, he exclaimed. We'll call it the top of the Pizzas. What an attraction. A living gargoyle who makes pizzas. Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, it's in the top of the pizzas. Of course, Ogre didn't want to be an attraction. He wanted to be known and liked as a person. But Ogre was a pizza chef again, and for that he was grateful. It was opening day and Ogre was nervous. He remembered the time when Mrs. Flaunt came into his kitchen. This time Ogre was not hidden, but in the open where everyone could see him. Look, he's not hidden. They're not ashamed of him. Because he can look like a gargoyle. And gargoyles are kind of cool. It's kind of gothic. The first group to visit the top of the pizzas was a class of children and their teacher, Mrs. Crump. Mrs. Crump took one look at Ogre and saw his horns, his pointed ears, warts on his large nose, and fainted. The children looked at Ogre and saw something else. They saw kindness in his eyes, warmth in his smile, and heard his shy, gentle voice. The children were not afraid. They liked Ogre. When Mrs. Crump was revived, she saw her class was safe. The children explained Ogre was harmless. Ogre's kind and gentle manner put Mrs. Crump at ease. Then the children gave her a slice of pizza. Well, she never tasted anything so delicious. The class learned a lot this trip. They saw the city and enjoyed Ogre's pizzas and funny stories. Soon after, the word spread about Ogre's Pizzaola, and more curious tourists visited the top of the pizzas. No one seemed to mind Ogre's looks. As a matter of fact, everyone thought he blended beautifully with the scene. And there it is. It's got really beautiful pictures, I think. I always loved this book. Oh, they are enjoying Chef Ogre Pizzaola's pizzas. Look at them. They're stretching that cheese. Oh, that looks so good. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to eat. Now they're making me hungry for pizza. Look at that. And he's so happy. He's spinning the dough up here on his finger. What else do you see? Do they look happy? Do they look like they're enjoying Chef Ogre Pizzaola's pizzas? It looks like they're very happy with them. He's part of the attraction now, the pizza chef. He's spinning that pizza on his finger. And should we be mean to people because they look different? No. We should be nice to people no matter how they look. It doesn't matter how someone looks, it's what's inside that counts. The top of the pizzas was a huge success. The critics raved about it. Delicioso. Unusual atmosphere, a must for gargle and pizza fanciers alike. Wild. Giovanni Pizzarama rated Ogre's Pies the highest possible score. 10 stars and 8 slices. Oh, that sounds like it's good. This sounds like that's a very good compliment to him. Ogre was beside himself with joy. At last, he was liked for what he was and what he could do. The kindly super became so rich from the price of admission, he gave the skyscraper to Ogre. Ogre Pizzaola was famous the world over. He sponsored a little league team and became a legend in his own time. That's it. Oh, and so they're getting takeout, and there's Bezos' name. That's the writer. And so they're taking pizza orders, it looks like. And that is the end. There's the gargoyle holding the pizza. And that was the top of the pizzas by Bill Bezos. And it was written, I think, in the 1970. Let's check it. Written and illustrated by Bill Bezos. That means he drew the pictures and he wrote the words to the book. He's the author. He's the writer. The writer writes the story. He's also called the author of the book. Copyright 1977. He wrote it to his wife and children. It's a very good story. And I appreciate that, Bill Bezos, because I read it to my children and my husband, and they loved your book. It's great. Thank you. I want you to remember to read more in 2024, and I want you to grow your brain. And I'm so glad you came out and had another virtual field trip to the water today. And I hope you enjoyed that book, and you'll come back real soon. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.